I'm drinking Clear Oats Icy Blue Raz flavor. It tastes like the blue Jolly Rancher. No protein aftertaste. It's so good, so refreshing, and 20 grams of protein. This is my week 43 weigh-in. This video is going to be real short because aside from my weigh-in and site reaction, I don't really have much to report. So thanks for being with me here today. When I started using a GLP-1 therapy, I weighed in at 265.4 pounds. That was 43 weeks ago, back in February of 2025. I can't believe that I'm 2 months away from my first Zep-aversary or tirzepatide or GLP-1 versary, whatever you want to call it. I'm 2 months away from being on a GLP-1 medication for a whole year. And over these last 43 weeks, I have managed to lose over a pound per week. So when I started, like I said, I was at 265.4 pounds. Last week, I weighed in at 218 exactly. And this week, I managed to lose 1.2 pounds, which puts me at 216.8 pounds. That means over 43 weeks, I have successfully lost 48.6 pounds. And that puts me at just 1.4 pounds away from my first 50-pound weight loss goal by December 31st. I technically have 2 weeks left, and I think that that's doable, but I also think it's two of the most challenging weeks that I have ahead of me. I am not blaming the holiday season or Christmas or all the, holiday treats that come with this season of life, but we are starting winter break. And for all my fellow teachers that are going on break, yay, finally, we made it. First semester is done. And here's the thing, when I have my kids at home full time, things are a little harder to do and achieve. Goals are a little harder to stay on top of because my kids take priority as they should. But it's also really hard to meal plan. There's a lot more snacking. There's a lot less time to move, to exercise. And I have every intention of getting movement in with them, like bike rides or taking walks, going to the playground and being active there. But it's easier said than done, and it's cold. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect everything. It's a challenge that I definitely have ahead, but I also haven't really given it a lot of thought because I know it's going to be require some work and I don't want it to affect my goals. For my fellow mamas, my fellow full-time mamas that are out there who have their kids year round and you have the full-time job of being a mom, how do you do it? How do you fit in, putting your kids first and making sure they're all taken care of, but also making sure that you meal plan and making sure that you allow yourself time to move? Because no one has more experience than you do. So tell me in the comments, how do you make it all work? How do you make it all fit? How do you continue to put yourself first, when you are a loving and caring mom who obviously has to take care of kids? So for side effects on 10 milligrams, as the medication continues to build on me, I am noticing that my side effects are starting to get a little worse. Like my chronic constipation is now being supported by yet another intervention because prescription medication isn't taking care of it alone. So there's that. I also have the insomnia. I feel like it's creeping back in. And obviously, with winter break here, that means that I'm probably going to have more insomnia than I anticipated. So I do have prescription medication for that. If I haven't said this yet, I'm not a doctor. I have a whole medical team supporting me in all these decisions, as you should too. So make sure you always consult with a healthcare provider before making any changes to any aspect of your life. This is simply my experience and how I manage my side effects on a GLP-1. Now, probably the most annoying side effect, believe it or not, The most annoying side effect that I've had these last 4 weeks that just keeps growing and getting worse and worse is injection site reaction. The redness and the itching are unbearable. Forget the redness because I can hide it, right? Like these last 2 weeks, I injected in my arms, so I wear a long sleeve shirt or, just longer sleeves or put a hoodie on or a jacket and it's covered. The problem is the itching. The itching that comes on days 2 through 4 is absolutely unbearable. And when I checked in with my provider, the only thing they said I could use is cortisone cream. They said apply it to the area as needed, and that's it. And just use a lot of willpower not to scratch, not to itch the area. And that's probably the hardest thing to do. How do you manage redness and itching? I know I'm not the only one. I see it on Reddit, I see it on YouTube, I see it on different forums and blogs. People are suffering in silence with this itching, and it's so annoying. And, I can try all the creams in the market, but the creams are not doing it. These topical like ointments are just not doing anything. So that has been really annoying. Am I going to stop my GLP-1 because of the itching? No, but it's driving me to the edge of insanity because all I want to do is scratch. As 2025 winds down, I couldn't help but think how my life has changed over the last year. I started my journey in February, but I didn't go public on YouTube until April. And if you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them, give them a like. It really helps me to continue to grow the channel. And I appreciate you so much for it. But when I started sharing, I never knew that I would connect with so many amazing people that are going through everything that I'm going through and more on this journey, who are advising me, encouraging me, supporting me, motivating, inspiring me with your journeys. And I just think that this experience has been so different because of that. Also, while a lot of us compare, because we do, let's just be honest, and some who started at the same time I did have managed to lose more, or some have even managed to lose less because the medication just works differently in their body. I wanted to recognize the fact that regardless of how much weight I lost, I am ending the year lighter. And that matters. I'm healthier. I'm eating better. I'm moving more. I'm just a better, healthier Grace. And I'm happier. And I know that you can tell because you tell me in the comments, you look so happy, you look so joyous. And, we're so glad that your life is changing in so many ways than just your weight. That is all I have for you guys today. I will be back the next couple of weeks with recaps on my experiences on 2.5, 5 milligrams, 7.5, and my 3 months of 10 milligrams. And I will let you know what I'm doing as far as titration goes, because I may or may not have a 12.5 box in my refrigerator. So don't forget, let's keep losing, friends. Bye.